Hello and welcome to another unboxing. This is of Plancchase Metallic Dreams. I picked this up today while I was out at the weekend Halcon over here in Halifax. So this one I've sort of had my eye on for a bit of a while now. The thing with this is, what makes it interesting is it's a multicolour Planechase deck. So Plancchase, if you're not familiar, is I suppose Magic the Gathering's first attempt at multiplayer. This came out around about the time of Zendikar, or just before it, and I believe in the set, in these Plancchase decks, they also featured Zendikar cards that were due to be in Zendikar, which hadn't actually, the boosters hadn't appeared yet. So it's like a preview as well. So I'm going to open this up, see what's in. Like I said, it's a multicoloured one. So I'm interested again with this to see the various ways in which mana is fixed and how they deal with the multicolours. So in any Plancchase deck, you've got these 10 planar cards and this dice. I go into a bit of detail on the other videos where I've unboxed Plancchase about how this works, so I'm not going to go back through with this one, but I am going to show you the planar cards here. So this one is Panopticon, Minamo. You can check out the excellent artwork on these. The Hippodrome, Eon Fog, the Maelstrom, Golden Meadow, Sanctum of Sierra, Bant, and Undercity Reaches, and finally Crosser. So you can see on each one of these there's some text down here which describes what happens when this comes into play. So on this one, all creatures get +2/+2, and then there's further details about when you roll specific symbols on the dice. And then we move on to the deck itself. This is our deck pack. So in here we have our standard Magic the Gathering rules, plus also instructions on specifically how to play Plancchase. And then we've got the deck itself. So zoom into this. Okay, so first up we've got the mana. So we've got some planes here, which is obviously going to give us our white mana. There's only 3 of those, and some islands for our blue. And I believe this deck's got quite a bit of blue mana in it. And we've got our swamps, 3 of those, and our mountains, 2 of those, and then our forests, 1 of those. So it's going to be interesting to see how that mana is utilised on the cards. So here we have our first non-basic land, which is Ancient Den, which is an artifact land, and we tap that and that adds white to our mana pool. Then we got Great Furnace, which is another artifact land. We tap that and add red to our mana pool. So it looks like we've got a series of artifact lands here. Seed of the Synod taps for blue, and there are 2 of those. Tree of Tales taps for green, and Vault of Whispers taps for black. So this deck's got 1 of each of the artifact lands, and then there's specifically 2 of the for the blue mana. So you can see there's a lot more. This is a lot more biased to blue, this deck. And we move on to the actual cards outside of the lands. So we've got Archbound Slith, which is an artifact creature, 2 colourless for a 0/0. But what happens is it has modular 1, so it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. When it's put into a graveyard, you may put its +1/+1 counter onto target artifact creature. And it gains counters when you do combat damage to a player. We've got a Copper Mere here, Gold Mere, Iron Mere, and these you can see here can all be tapped to add colour to our mana pool. So the Copper Mere adds green, gold adds white, iron adds red, in addition to being a 1/1 for 2 colourless. Leaden adds black, and Silvermere adds blue. Then we got Verdolkin Engineer, and you can see some more mana fixing here. You tap, add 2 mana of any 1 colour to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. So that's going to give you some clue. This is a pretty artifact heavy deck, as we can see already. We've got a lot of artifact cards coming up. And this also has, this particular card has Sunburst, so it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each colour of mana spent to cast it. So this is where the advantage of having multicolours comes into the deck. We got Wizard Replica, Master of Ethereum. So this is a rare for 2 and a blue, artifact creature, Verdolkin Wizard. Master of Ethereum's power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts you control. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Sarcomite Mere, Archbound Crusher. So another card where you've got modular 1 again. Etched Oracle, another card with Sunburst on it. There's 2 of those. Lodestone Mere, this is a rare. It's a 2/2 for 4, has Trample. You can tap an untapped artifact you control. Lodestone Mere gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Arsenal Thresher, Sludge Strider, Mere Enforcer. This has affinity for artifacts, so yeah, good idea to have in an artifact based deck. So what that means is that the spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. So that would reduce it's a very high cost. It's costs 7 colourless to cast for only a 4/4. There's 2 of those. Pentavus, which is another rare, for 7 colourless. It says 0, but obviously there's something here that will stop that dying the moment it enters the battlefield. So you can see this is in the ability text. Pentavus enters the battle with 5 +1/+1 counters on it, so it's 5/5 for 7 colourless. For a cost of 1 colourless, remove a +1/+1 counter from Pentavirus. Put a +1/+1 colourless Pentavite artifact creature token with flying into the battlefield onto the battlefield. For 1 colourless, you can sacrifice a Pentavite. Put a +1/+1 counter on Pentavus. Bosch Iron Golem, another rare. This is a 6/7 for 8 colourless. Has trample. And for 3 and a red, you can sacrifice an artifact. Bosch Iron Golem deals damage equal to the sacrifice artifact converted mana cost to target creature or player. Well, you can see here, there would be an advantage where you've got these fairly high cost artifacts. Quimulux, another card with affinity for artifacts. Broodstar, another affinity for artifacts card. You also got Cranial Plating in this deck, so this is 2 colourless artifact equipment. A quick creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. 2 black, attach Cranial Plating to target creature you control. Equip 1, attached to target creature you control, equip only as a sorcery. Panted Prism artifact, has Sunburst. You can also use it to generate mana, in that it costs 2 colours to cast, but Sunburst puts charge counters onto this, and then the charge counters are used to generate any colour of mana. And there's 2 of those. Loxodon Warhammer, this is a rare for 3 colourless. It gives an equipped creature +3/+0 and has lifelink and trample, and it costs 3 to equip. Nuisance Engine, and again another artifact. You can use this to put 0/1 colourless pest artifact creature tokens onto the battlefield. Serum Tank, another card that features charge counters, and you can use the charge counters to draw cards. Skeleton Shard, another artifact. Costs 3 colourless to cast, and there's 2 of those. And you can use those cards to basically return target artifact creatures from your graveyard back to your hand. And we've got Fabricate. Use it to search out artifact cards. Keep Watch. Just basically has a card draw, but it's dependent on attacking creatures. Thirst for Knowledge, another instant used for card draw, but you have to discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. Door to Nothingness, 5 colourless. This is a rare. Door to Nothingness, enters the battlefield tapped. 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, 2 green. Sacrifice Door to Nothingness. Target player loses the game. So that was an alternative win condition there. Whiplash Trap. And then finally we've got Darksteel Forge, which is another rare in this. 9 colourless to cast. Gives artifacts indestructibility. So fairly high cost, but hopefully with all the various mana ramping and fixing that you've got, that's going to be able to get that a lot sooner. And when you do, that's going to give all your artifacts, of which there will be many by that point, indestructibility. Okay, so that's a look at the Plancchase Metallic Dreams deck. Okay, bye for now.